Okay, let's take a look at exercise 7-18. This is an accounts receivable and factoring problem. So you can see the problem in front of you, and I'll read it to you. It says Concord Corporation factors $260,800 of accounts receivable with Kathleen Battle Financing, Inc. on a with recourse basis. Now, the financing company will collect the receivables, and the receivables records are transferred to the financing company on August 15th, 2017. So I'm reading right here now. Now, Kathleen Battle Financing, that's the financing company, they assess a finance charge of 2% of the amount of accounts receivable, and they also reserve an amount equal to 4% of accounts receivable to cover probable adjustments. Okay, so we've got 2% and 4% given to us. Now, part B, which is the part we're going to work, says assume that the conditions are met for the transfer of receivables with recourse to be accounted for as a sale. So we're going to prepare the journal entry on August 15th for Concord, on Concord's books, to record the sale of the receivable, assuming the recourse liability has a fair value of $5,000. Okay, now I've put the calculation right here for you to see. All right, we've got a 4% and a 2% that essentially is part of Kathleen Battle's fees, right? So the cash received we're going to receive would be the $260,800 less the 6%, the 2% that she's going to withhold. So she's going to provide us with cash received of $245,150. Now, what's due from the factor is the 4% is $10,432. So a total of $255,584 is expected to be received. And then we have to subtract out that recourse liability of $5,000. So the net proceeds that we have to account for is $250,584. Okay, now I've repositioned our calculations up here to show you the solution down here. Well, how much cash are we going to receive? Well, we're going to get the $245,000, so we'll debit cash. What's due from the factor is the $10,432, so we've got a debit to the due from a factor account. Now, we did incur a loss on the receivables. Well, how did we calculate that loss? We were carrying the receivable at $260,800, and the net proceeds we're going to receive, as we've calculated previously, was $250,584. So we're going to record a loss on the receivables of $10,216. The recourse liability gets set up, and accounts receivable gets credited. Now, accountants don't like to use the word forced or plugged. They like to use the word forced more than plugged, but ideally they like to prove the numbers. If there was any one of these numbers you had to force, it would be the 10,216. Because if you think about it, all the other numbers are calculated in a more direct fashion. Okay, let me move the calculation out so you can see the problem again, and you can see the solution, and hopefully this was helpful to you.